I now call this meeting of the Amateur Detective Club to order. My name is Tristan Miller. I am the saucy sleuth.
I'm Melissa Meli, the spy.
I'm Tyler Riley, cup and a half.
Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/adcpod and browse the unmatched selection of audio programs. Download a title free and start listening. It's that easy. Go to audibletrial.com/adcpod. So we read today Death in the Clouds.
Death in the Clouds by Agatha Christie.
She's back.
She's back.
We back.
We
We've been gone for a minute, but we back with the jump off.
Yeah, we recorded...
Shout out to Lil Kim.
We recorded 3 episodes in one day and then haven't seen each other for like...
A month.
A
month, yeah.
At least more than a month. So... Yeah.
Yeah, because Melissa, you were at Disney World. And
I was.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, but I wish I was there right now.
That makes sense.
That's fair.
I mean, that is no reflection on you guys. It's just, I always wish I was at Disney World.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Come to talk to you. And Tyler and I are too busy to see each other, unless it's for business purposes. Also, we're both socially anxious.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I didn't mean to call
And I
you
was
out like
also out of town as well.
that. Okay, well, fine.
Thank
I get
you.
it.
It's like, Melissa's off living a fabulous life, and Tyler's anxious.
You were out of town. Having a great time. I was in town screaming.
Which is also a pretty great time.
Yeah, I mean, it can be.
Screaming into the void.
And I am now here recording this instead of watching Game of Thrones or Endgame. No spoilers. Don't spoil the Endgame.
Okay.
All right. So this book we read,
This book, yeah.
This book.
No.
or listened to, is called Death in the Clouds. It is by Agatha Christie, and it is a Poirot novel. And we don't have a Hastings in this one. There's no Hastings.
Oh, right. I suppose there's not.
Nope.
Nope.
But it was on Audible, where Tristan and I listened to it, performed, I should say, by Hugh Fraser, our good friend.
Mm-hmm. Friend of the program, Hugh.
Yes. Come back to Twitter, Hugh. We miss you.
You know it.
Oh!
Am I right?
Yeah, You
and
are
then
right.
here we go. Frasier. I hardly know her.
All right.
For God's sakes, not.
Oh.
A lot of free association there. But this book was let's get into it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I interrupted and then...
That's okay. It was originally published under the title of Death in the Air on March 10th, 1935.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Yes. So we are on a plane. Yes, Tristan, do you have a thought?
Yeah, I just kind of realized that that's nearing 100 years old. Like, it's within... These are very old books.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It just dawned on me how old this book was. I'm sorry.
Do you know that the other books that we've read are even older than this?
What? Excuse?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we're trying to read them in kind of order they were published, I think.
Kind of,
And
yeah.
we're doing a really good job from I read the book, and on the back of
Okay.
Like in book form.
I'm literate.
I'm sorry, I was homeschooled. I don't know what a B and a 7 is. Everything else is fine.
What is that?
I don't know.
Okay. I thought that was okay.
No, it wasn't a reference. It's just a mistake. But you read the book.
And on the back of the book, it has the Hercule Poirot Mysteries in Order.
Oh.
So when I say that we're doing a pretty good job, that is what I'm referencing.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
Where did you pick up your the copy?
At my local bookstore.
Oh, how nice.
Amazon.com.
Oh, that's fair enough. So I don't know. I don't want to. I know. I don't know if we want to get into this now or later, but I might need to start reading the actual books.
Oh, shoot, me too.
Because I am having trouble focusing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I did listen to a portion of the audiobook, and then I needed to switch over at a point, just because it's so hard, like, to go back on the audiobook if I feel like I've missed something of significance.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I do like listening to it, but I like having, like, a physical copy to also refer to.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And, I mean, I can see where that would work well. I wonder if, I could listen and get a Kindle copy. Anyway, probably. They usually have deals like that.
Yeah. What I'm considering doing is, if we continue to get the audiobook, listening to it at night while I fall asleep at the beginning, so I at least know the beginning parts and try and remember where I drift off.
Yeah.
Right.
That kind of thing. And then just reading it, because that way you get double exposed to it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's very hard to focus. Specifically, like, I keep making the mistake of, like, I'll listen to a book and be on the train, or I'll listen to a book and, like, playing video games, and my attention is always divided.
Yeah, same. And when I have a book in my hand, I am reading a book.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially if it's not, like, really grabbing my attention, which sometimes, I mean, we go on some meandering paths in here. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Even some of my favorite books. Like, there's,
Sure.
like, every now and then there's a section that is just like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know,
Yeah. I've really taken to, like, having headphones in the subway, which is, I think, why I'm so partial to it.
Yeah.
But I also have not, just picked up a physical book and read it in a while, which is ridiculous and sad considering I like doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to get myself back in the habit anyway.
Oh, think
like
about
Sister Act 2.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Think about Whoopi Goldberg again.
Just set them up and you knock them down.
We should, Tyler. We should do a Whoopi Goldberg fan cast.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We should do that on our Patreon.
And there's so many of them available on Amazon Prime right now.
Oh my goodness.
Including Fatal Beauty and Telephone.
Ooh.
The lesser known Whoopi Works.
Lesser known Whoopi Works. Whoopi Works sounds like... What is
The name of the podcast?
I was going to say number one, the name of the podcast.
Yes. Also, like a workspace?
Yeah, it's like an open floor plan.
Yeah.
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 Like a WeWork.
But Whoopi Goldberg themed WeWork.
One.
TM.
What you can go into the ghost office. No one wants the Moogle office though.
No, nobody wants to be at the computer workstation of Jumping Jack Flash.
That's correct.
It's like random messages just pop up.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
So we read a book
Oh.
or something.
Are you sure?
No.
Because it feels like we just want to talk.
Isn't that what this podcast is about?
Yeah, absolutely.
It kind of is. Okay, so Poirot's on a plane.
Ooh, he's in the sky.
Yes. Well, we don't know he is at first.
Ooh,
He's
yeah.
revealed kind of later, actually, because he sleeps through most of the flight, which is very charming because I wrote down a quote that he said when they were later questioning him about... I mean, the book is called Death in the Clouds. What do you guys think happens?
Did someone die?
The death of the automotive indindustry? Is that
I
what
see.
this...
Yeah,
yeah, it is. It's about
You know how we all take planes?
I take planes to work all the time.
So, spoiler, obviously someone dies on this airplane.
Yeah.
But when it's being investigated, Poirot says, I was asleep. I suffer almost as badly in the air as on the sea.
Yes, because he hates his stomach.
The sea, the cruise sea.
I would really like to point something out in this first chapter, because it starts off with the internal monologues of all the passengers, right?
Yeah.
Is it all the passengers?
Well, it's a couple of them.
Yeah.
It's mostly
Yeah.
Jane, I thought.
There is some foul language right off the bat. I don't know if you remember that. Not only is the B word used, but also the C word at one point.
Well,
and
yeah.
it's like, what?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
I don't know, but I
even when I'm
had
kind
to
of
pause and
when
go
I'm
back.
like walking down the subway stairs, if I
Yeah.
hear the C word, I'm probably gonna be like, whoa.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Pardon me? What did you say, Hugh?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it was very because it was an internal she was very cross with somebody, and she was being very.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I could not believe my ears. So know that going into this book.
Yeah.
That you might.
Captain America would not approve.
Not at all.
But Okay, so we're in the sky. People are on a plane. Internal monologuing, and eventually we find that Madame Giselle, a French moneylender, is dead.
How'd she die?
Well,
What happened?
something stabbed her in the neck.
It was a vampire.
It was a vampire. It's a
In the
vampire book.
clothes.
It's quite a it's quite a turn for Agatha.
Yes, but a welcome one. Could you imagine if she read? That'd be
vampire.
really good. That'd be really fun, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, so she is found by an airline steward. His name is Michael. He does not come back after
No,
this
he disappears.
I would not imagine. Like, well, it looks like I'm done being this.
Because he is going around, like, there's like 5 minutes till they start descending into Croydon. And he's going around making sure everyone has paid for their little snacks aboard the aircraft.
Nickel and diming them. So
And
I gotta fly first class.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Y'all are taking places to work and going in first class, and meanwhile, I have to walk.
Listen,
Get your monthly flight pass like the rest of us. Step your game up.
I flew first class for the first time
Oh.
to and from Florida.
Oh.
And also TSA pre-check.
Oh, no.
It is the best thing, and I am spoiled forever
Oh, no.
because I don't ever want to wait in a security line again, and or take my shoes off, or take my liquids out, because you don't have to do any of that for pre-check. And in first class, you board the plane first, and they're like, what can I get you to drink before the thing even takes off? And you're like, I would like a mimosa, please, at 6:30 in the morning. And they're like, sure. Would you like a double? And it's included. It's the best thing ever.
If I ever get even a whiff of Economy Plus,
Sick for a week.
oh,
Can I tell you two things? One, take your liquids out. Sounds disgusting. Sounds like something that's in a rap song. Number one, filthy. Number two,
second shout out to Lil' Kim tonight.
yeah,
This
absolutely.
is-
Tyler, weren't you in a private jet at one point?
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that experience and derail this podcast further?
I have also flown
I
a
will.
private jet.
Well, once again, what am I, chopped liver? What is happening?
It was the most glorious yet depressing day for me. So there's just no security check.
No, you just get on it.
Yeah, well, you don't, because they'd say that it's boarding. You walk outside, a van pulls up, you get inside, and the van takes you 3 feet away to where, you go up the stairs into the jet.
Yeah.
We had champagne. It was
so depressing.
Oh, it was beautiful. No, the depressing thing was having to fly back economy that night.
Oh.
And just ugh.
Yeah.
The disgust and contempt I had in my heart.
I don't doubt it.
I flew in a private jet when I was 10. So I just remember that there was a drawer full of candy.
Oh, wow.
It was like going to a store
Uh-huh.
and picking out whatever you wanted. But you could just go over the drawer and get candy. And
My gosh.
whenever you wanted to. I was 10. It was great.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I once took a bus from Minneapolis to New York. A Greyhound bus. Terrible experience.
Yeah, sounds awful.
Yeah.
You should have flown first class.
In the bus.
Yes, in the bus.
Could you not charter a private bus to New York? I don't get it.
This is not a typical thing for me, by the way. I have flown literally once in a private jet. I think it was, both back and forth. And I have only flown first class once. So I'm not really,
A jet setter.
yeah, I'm not living that jet setting life.
Oh, I will be, or I will not be traveling.
I don't drink anymore, so I wouldn't be able to partake in the mimosas. But what I would do is have a glass of orange juice and a NyQuil, and that's basically the same thing.
Basically.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Oh, and also, but like on the way there, we also got breakfast.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you get food.
You get food.
I would love to just demolish some eggs and coffee in the sky.
Yeah. And like, you want a refill? Okay, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Too much coffee on a plane though. The bathroom situation is bad.
Oh, but there's one.
Yeah,
in
you
the
want to
front
have
of-
like a freaking air frittata.
Air frittata? My favorite band, Air Frittata. Okay, so there's the death. The woman has died.
Okay.
The steward-
Michael has gone and found the dead body.
It's a very important character, Michael.
Yeah.
He is important. He found the body.
That's
Angel
true.
of Death,
You're right.
Michael.
You're right.
And Michael is also the one that approaches Gail. Oh, wait, I'm gonna backtrack. Okay.
Who's
Let me take you through the passengers on this
Who are
plane.
these people?
Madame Giselle,
She's the dead lady.
James Ryder, Armand Dupont, Jean Dupont, Daniel Clancy, Hercule Poirot, Dr. Bryant, Norman Gale, Countess of Horbury, Jane Grey, Honorable Benicia Kerr.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
And Jane Grey is not the Jane Grey that I know everybody is thinking of, who was queen for 9 days.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking
Is
of
that
that and
not
not
the
an
sequel to
X-Men.
this book? That's not the sequel.
No, not the sequel.
Okay.
No. It's a squeakquel, though.
No, in England there was a...
Just imagine the
Chipmunk sequel.
Oh, okay.
the kings and queens of England.
Oh, gosh. So
Sorry.
that's the right thing.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Right. Anyway, historical reference.
Yeah. Yay!
So Michael approaches Norman Gale to ask if he is a doctor. He is not.
He's a
He is
dentist.
a dentist.
Oh, disgusting.
He is like economy class. When you think of like people who have their doctorates,
Uh-huh.
economy class level is Norman Gale.
Oh.
But Dr. Bryant chimes in that he is in fact a doctor. You may have got that from his name. Then examines her and proclaims her dead.
Wow.
Jean Dupont informs the stewards and Bryant that he found and killed a wasp in the cabin.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
And
once
like a
it was
bug wasp.
Yeah.
A what?
It took me a second.
Yo,
man.
bug
That's so
wasp?
good.
Yeah,
Not a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Because they noticed that she has a mark on her neck. So the working
From the
theory
vampire.
then becomes that a wasp is to be blamed for the death.
Oh.
The wasp stung her, and then she had a heart attack and died, right?
Yes.
Yeah. She was allergic to wasp.
Yeah. That is until Poirot points out an elaborate dart on the ground that seems to be covered in poisons consistent with those used by indigenous tribes in South America. And with this news, the investigation begins.
Do 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 ba ba do 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 do. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so there's an inquest a couple of days later, and basically the court's like, "Hey, so we don't know who did it."
Yeah.
But she did get murdered.
Can we talk for a second
Yeah.
about... All right. The foreigner hate and...
Oh,
the-
yeah.
It is the
Oh.
30s.
My goodness. It is... There's just so much. Like every other page.
Yeah.
And... Oh my goodness.
Thank God that people aren't like that anymore.
Right. Exactly.
What?
Yeah. Sarcasm. But, yes. Oh, and I mean the sexism, of course.
Yeah.
I can't believe a woman wrote these books, but anyway.
The sexism I can excuse. Just kidding. Just kidding.
As a man.
Yeah, no, understandable. Yeah, just that's there all the time. I didn't take note of all the instances because I would have
Yeah.
been writing down the entire book.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it in this particular one.
There really is.
It was so hard to take notes during this period that I just didn't. I just didn't. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
It's also there's a lot of weirdness with like the indigenous peoples as well. They're like,
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot of weird.
Because they also don't call them indigenous people.
Oh,
That's
no.
just me.
Yeah, being nice.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Oh boy. So there's an inquest, and they're like, somebody murdered her. We don't know who. Let's do an investigation. So Poirot and Jap, funnily enough, is there as well.
Oh, yeah. He gets called in. There's a French investigator, and then also Jap is helping out.
Because it's the flight was from France to England.
Correct.
The French investigator's name is
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. From reading it, I could not figure out the pronunciation. Since you guys heard it, I was just trying to get a read on that. I say his name a lot in my notes.
Okay, can you spell it for me? Because I just don't remember off.
I'm trying to find it for you. That's why.
Okay.
Fournier.
Fournier.
Fournier,
Okay.
yeah.
Fournier.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
So where are we next to the story? The investigation has begun.
Yeah.
Jap is like, oh, it's funny that you're here, Poirot. We have to write down all the suspects. And he's like, I'm not going to write you down. And Poirot's like, you're an idiot.
Oh, no, of course. I am not above suspicion. You have to consider everyone.
What if yeah, it was very funny.
Oh, and they have this moment where they talk about, people, Jap mistakes the DuPonts, who are archaeologists. He calls them toughs, which is cool. And he says, actually, they are some very good archaeologists, which Agatha Christie, her second husband, the good one, the one we like.
Yeah, not the first husband.
No, was an archaeologist. So, like, Miss Agatha liked archaeologists. Big fan. But yeah, so Poirot says, no, you cannot always... Some of the most famous people... They look completely, they don't look like they would be famous at all. For example, I am often mistaken for a hairdresser. Champ is like, is that so?
I would like to also take a brief moment to recognize that Hugh Fraser really outdoes himself in this audiobook vis-a-vis the quality of the acting. His Irish accent is very, very strong.
Yeah.
And his, as always, Jap and all the different characters are very distinct, which is, I'm very impressed by this specific novel.
Yeah. So they are suspicious of the author.
Yes.
Because he had a blow dart. Oh, have we mentioned? So, yes, we found...
Wait, we didn't mention, we found the dart. We didn't find,
the blowpipe.
Okay, and the blowpipe was found tucked into like Poirot's seat, actually. So yeah. So they find it, and then as they're questioning people, it turns out that the author has written a story in which that is used as a murder weapon.
One short story and one novel.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so he's like about it.
So he bought one.
Yeah.
And
not a good look.
Freely admits to it, and they're like, well, there we go. And he's like, no, but I still have it, and it's not here.
Yeah, and Poirot quite rightly is like, why would he tell us if he had bought one? Why would he ever admit that?
That would be stupid.
Yeah.
Which is true. And he's very taken with Poirot.
Yes.
It's like, oh, it's a real detective. He knows exactly who Poirot is.
Yeah, because he's a murder mystery writer, which is very fun.
Yeah.
Clancy. Not Tom Clancy. Different guy.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking the whole time.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
I was not.
Oh.
Well, fine.
Okay, then. What'd you first say? Would you say you were on a different page?
Oh, she did it!
She did it! Oh, that was very good.
Oh, the contents of everyone's pockets and bags, because Poirot wants to know it, and everyone is like, why? But he's like, no, I need to know this.
So I want to set a beat, and then you're going to read the list in, okay?
I don't know what's happening.
You have a list of contents, right?
Yes.
So, read it in time.
Oh gosh, no.
Make it a game. It's got to be fun. Okay.
Pressure. James Ryder, pockets, linen, handkerchief, Mark J, pigskin, no Kate, 7 pound notes, 3 business cards, letter from partner George Everin, hoping loan has been successfully negotiated. Otherwise, we're in Queer Street. Problematic letter, signed, Maudie, making appointment, Trocadero following evening, cheap, paper, illiterate, handwriting, silver.
Well done.
I'd like to say for the record that this chapter is literally called The List.
Thank you for indulging me. Such a sport.
Silver cigarette case. A match folder, fountain pen, bunch of keys, Yale door key. I was like, well, I don't know what that is. And then
It's
loose.
the key to Yale.
Yeah.
Then why do so many people have it?
No, I think it's a brand of, I don't know.
I'll look it up.
Then he has an attaché case. Dr. Bryant, in his pockets, 2 linen handkerchiefs, note case containing 20 pounds and 500 francs, loose change in French and English money, an engagement book, a cigarette case, lighter, fountain pen, another Yale door key.
It's one that uses a more random set of teeth so that it's harder to unlock.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's just a type of key.
That's cool. Dr. Bryant also has a flute.
He does. He loves music.
So do I, but I don't
I
carry a
carry
recorder in
around
my pocket.
Yeah.
You know?
In your pocket, thank you so much.
Oh no, I've been hanging out with you too much.
Norman Gale, pockets. He has a silk handkerchief, a wallet containing 1 pound because he's a broke person. Loose change, business cards of 2 French firms, makers of dental instruments. He also has a Bryant and May matchbox, which is empty. A silver lighter, briar pipe, rubber tobacco pouch, and yet another Yale door key.
Does everyone have a Yale door key?
Almost
Say aye.
everybody.
All right.
Armand Dupont has a wallet containing 1,000 francs
Dang.
and 10 pounds in English. Spectacles in case. Not in case, but in case.
In case
And
I need
also, in case.
Yeah. I might need
Right.
to do some light reading. I never know.
Loose change in French money, cotton handkerchief, packet of cigarettes, match folder, cards in case, and toothpick. Jean Dupont, a note case containing 5 pounds in English, 300 in francs, cigarette case, cigarette holder, ivory.
Ooh.
He a nasty man. Lighter, fountain pen, 2 pencils, small notebook. I shouldn't have looked at Tristan.
It's always a mistake.
Oh. That's true.
And then he has some letters and some loose change. Daniel Clancy has the most in his daggone pockets. A handkerchief, ink stain, fountain pen leaking,
Ew.
note case containing 4 pounds and 100 francs, 3 newspaper cuttings dealing with recent crimes, 2 letters from house agents, an engagement book, 4 pencils, a penknife, 3 receipts, and 4 unpaid bills, tacky. Another letter, a half-done crossword puzzle, notebook containing suggestions for plots, loose change in Italian, French, Swiss, and English money, hotel bills, and a bunch of keys.
He's doing the most.
Always. And then in his overcoat pocket, a manuscript note, a golf ball, a pair of socks, a toothbrush, and another bill.
Honestly, that sounds like what I have in my purse at any given moment, including the golf ball. Weird, right?
Yeah, a little weird. Like
I'm kidding. It's not true.
Miss Kerr has lipstick, 2 cigarette holders, 1 ivory and 1 jade,
Ooh.
because she fancy. Flapjack. Okay.
Like a pancake? She's got a pancake in her pocket? You're telling me this refined lady.
There's a jack that needs to be flapped. Is she ready for
Oh, you're nasty.
Oh.
a cigarette case, a match folder, handkerchief, loose change, 1/2 letter of credit, keys, bottles, brushes, combs, a manicure outfit, washing bag containing toothbrush, sponge, tooth powder, soap, 2 pairs of scissors, 5 letters from family and friends in England, 2 novels, and I really adored this. Photographs of 2 spaniels.
Oh.
She likes dogs.
That's so sweet.
Miss Gray has lipstick rouge. She got a flapjack. Yale key, 1 trunk key, pencil, cigarette case, match folder, 2 handkerchiefs, receipted hotel bill, a small book, a note case. She got money, not a whole lot. Some postcards, 2 handkerchiefs, a silk scarf, and a letter signed Gladys.
So I've just been informed by Google. A flapjack is a powdering.
It's the thing that has the mirror, right?
Yeah.
Like a
Like a
compact.
compact?
Yeah, it's another name for a compact.
That's a terrible name for a compact.
Yes, it is. But I much prefer the idea of pancakes in a pocket.
Yeah.
Sounds like
So
Dr.
does
Seuss.
the New Day. Because New Day rocks. At WWE.
You've isolated us. You've isolated our audience.
You don't know if Big E, Kofi Kingston, or Xavier Woods listen to the podcast.
That's fair.
Okay?
Tweet at him. Them.
All of them.
All of them.
All the New Day.
Oh,
All.
You know the
live
New
long
Day.
New Day.
a little. I come in and out of wrestling. It's been a minute.
They're great. Lady Horbury,
Oh, we're still
2
going.
lipsticks. She's the last person. Lady Horbury, 2 lipsticks, rouge, flapjack, handkerchief, 3 mile notes, 6 pounds English loose change, a diamond ring, 5 French stamps, 2 cigarette holders, lighter with case, complete makeup outfit, elaborate manicure set, small bottle labeled in ink, boreatic powder, which we find out is cocaine.
Oh.
She's got the
She
cocaine.
nasty.
Yeah, she has a problem.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yes,
But-
it is.
You know.
A lot of people in these novels do.
Yeah, I think that's also indicative of like how do I put like cocaine has been around for a very long time.
It has.
And for a while it was treated as like an actual medicine, and then so rich people could kind of get it, but everyone's kind of a jerk on cocaine. We don't like it, but then it went away and then came back in a huge way in the 80s, which I think is fascinating. That like there's this 50-year period where people were like doing cocaine, but it wasn't as big of an issue for whatever reason.
Yeah. It's in that Cole Porter song, though, of course, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And coming back in the 80s, it's almost like the government might have had something to do with it.
That's fair.
ADC investigates tonight at 10.
Can we do a Patreon episode about Watergate?
Hey, we read this cool mystery
Yeah.
that we heard about.
Can we do the OJ trial?
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. So what happens next?
Poirot finds what he is looking for, but does say it doesn't work within his theory. He also does not let us know what the heck he's talking about.
That is true.
As per usual.
Yes.
Jap and Fournier
Yeah.
are going to continue their investigations, and Poirot is like, you know what? I'm going to go back to France.
Yeah.
I'm going to go do some stuff there. And he does. And on their flight back...
Yeah, basically.
And on their flight back, Poirot tries different means of accurately using the blow dart.
Right.
As he tries to, like, not be seen by passengers, but, like, here's this little Belgian man with a blow dart on a plane.
I cannot wait to see Suchet try to do this thing.
Oh, God. That would be so magical.
Oh.
So good.
It's going to be so wonderful.
Uh-huh.
But, of course, like, it's, like, pretty much impossible for him to not be seen, you know.
Blowing the dart,
Yeah.
as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when I think Melissa wants to take this away with meeting Giselle's maid.
Okay. So we meet Giselle's maid and we get a clearer picture of who Giselle
Right.
was.
Yeah.
And it turns out that, you know, she was a moneylender, and it sounds like she was basically blackmailing people to get their money back. Like, everyone always paid this lady back because otherwise stuff went down. So, and then as they're talking to her, they learn that, in fact, she had a daughter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They were estranged, like they didn't live together, ever at all.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, like, you know, she wasn't raised by her. There we go.
Yeah.
That's the phrase. And so, but she would have still inherited all her fortune because, you know, it's only right. That's the way it was done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an interesting bit of info.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
She stands to benefit most from the death of Giselle.
But there's also a bunch of people that owe her money that are probably going to be, you know, happy that she's not alive anymore as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of people that have motive to kill her.
Yeah.
And what's also interesting is that when they arrive, Poirot and Fournier, to the estate, they go to Giselle's office immediately and find that, like, it seems everything has been cleared out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's revealed that
The
maid had destroyed everything per Giselle's instruction.
Yeah. Like, if anything should happen to me, burn it. Burn it all.
And she does, with the exception of a little black book. Which, after some prodding, straight up accusing, if you will, of Poirot, of this lady, she eventually hands over. And inside the black notebook, it contains some codes about her sleuthing.
Sorry.
It contains some codes, like it's a bunch of like letters and numbers.
Mm-hmm. It's all of her Wi-Fi passwords.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Think of your parents' Wi-Fi password, and that essentially is what these codes are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We resume then with Fournier talking with Georges, who is very annoyed to have to speak to any policeman.
Right.
We don't learn much here. But Poirot learns, or later tells Fournier about the Black Book, which kind of frustrates him. Because he was like, why wouldn't she tell me? And he's like, you're the police, and I'm just this dude.
Yeah.
Also here asking questions.
Yeah.
Lady Halberry had a maid during the flight. So.
Oh, right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, they go and look into the maid. Because she would have had a really good opportunity to commit the crime as well.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, at some point, there is a part where Poirot asks, who is it, Gail, to dress up.
Yes,
yeah,
that happens
much later.
Yeah.
Much later?
Yeah.
Near the end of the book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In like the third act.
Okay.
Can I tell you?
Yes.
This book does have a problem. And at least for me.
Uh-huh.
And the problem is we keep cutting away from the investigation and dealing with these people's lives in a way that doesn't enhance the investigation in any way or the mystery. Like, at one point we cut to, I can't remember who it is, but he's at his estate and he wants to get divorced.
Oh, Stephen, Horbury's husband.
Yeah, which has nothing to do with anything, really.
I mean, it does, but it really doesn't.
Like, it's
she just threw in, like, these random, like, love story, like, these romance bits.
Yeah.
I wonder if this was around the time that she was, like, having her marriage troubles.
Interesting.
Oh, I don't remember.
Because, like, he wants to leave his wife for another woman.
That is
which
is what happened to our friend Agatha. Yes. So, yeah, it is a little hard to follow the investigation because we do keep coming in and out. And also, I don't know. Some of it seems to happen in kind of a random order.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of not important when it happens. And so, it doesn't have as much of an arc.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the next bit I have is back on the Black Book.
Mm-hmm.
Poirot like kind of encourages Fournier to be like, hey, like we're both trying to do this thing. Let's just really do this together now, please.
Yeah.
So they review the Black Book together, and they settle on 5 entries, seemingly have to do with characteristics of the people in the plane. And I'll read the following 5 entries. CL52, stop it. CL52, English peeress, husband. RT362, Dr. Harley Street. MR24, Forged Antiquities. XVB724, English Embezzlement. GF45, Attempted Murder, English.
You sunk my battleship.
Go
So
home.
those are the
IMO.
so those are the things that in her like ledger of who-
Yes, those are the 5 entries. And they suspect that number 1 pertains to Lady Horbury, the second to be Dr. Bryant, the third, Monsieur Dupont, the fourth, James Ryder, and last, they couldn't quite figure out.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Indeed.
Something happens that wasn't important, and then next we find...
Yeah, a lot of this book
Yeah.
is unfortunately that as well.
Poirot is talking to, like, Fournier's, like, superior.
Oh, I don't
And they're
even
like-
remember that.
Yeah, they're having like some banter because it wasn't important. It just like I now remember it because Fournier comes back in because he has found the seller of the blow darts,
Right. Yeah.
a Monsieur Zeropoulos, and confirms that Dupont is a regular, but said the buyer of the blow dart in question was an American.
Right. Tall.
And it is also revealed that the tips that he sold were red, not black and yellow, as previously found.
Black and yellow. Black and yellow.
Thank you. However, this bit of information does not seem to bother Poirot, much to the confusion of Fournier.
Mm-hmm.
Next, they head to the offices of Universal Airlines. It is there we learn that the American arranged to have Madame Giselle's flight to be switched from the 8:45 to the
right.
12 o'clock
Yes,
flight.
yes.
So that she would fly on the Prometheus, the name of the plane that we began the story with.
I want to ride on planes and name things like the Prometheus.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, when do we stop doing that? Come on.
Next time I'm on a private jet, I'm just going to
not-
christen.
Just don't name your plane Icarus.
Oh yeah, that would be very
Yeah.
bad.
That would be very bad omen.
Yeah.
Say it and it might not be great either.
But he also arranges American to have her sit specifically in seat number 2
Oh, right. Yeah.
and seemingly bought a plane ticket right next to her under some pseudonym. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that chair remains empty the entire leg of the flight. Next, we are with the Horburys. Stephen confronts his wife, Cicely, a.k.a. Lady Horbury, because he believes that she has borrowed money from Giselle, and now he wants out of this marriage.
No, I'm sorry, but you said the leg of the flight, and then I imagined someone using their legs like wings to fly. And that's on me. That's my bad, but it happened.
It did.
It seems like they have like a sort of Green Acres kind of marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, does anyone remember? I've never seen the show, but I've heard the intro a million
Goodbye,
times.
city life.
Yeah, you are my wife. Goodbye. And I always that struck me from when I was a kid. When I was like just hearing it in the background, I was like, that seems wrong.
It's,
But it makes so much sense that Donald Trump sang that at the Emmys one year.
I remember that. Oh,
right.
terrible. That's Zsa Zsa Gabor's sister in that show.
Mhm.
Yeah. Don't remember her first name. Miss Gabor.
Ava.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That helped.
But he is also in love with Kerr, right?
Oh yeah.
whatever. She has a weird, like, it's like Valentina or something like that.
It's not Valeria. But anyway.
It's something
Valerian and the Five Planets. What was that dumb movie? I don't even want to get into it.
But, like, she was a passenger on the plane, the woman that he's in love with.
I believe Flareon is correct.
Vaporeon, if anything, sir.
Oh, yes. Okay. We're doing a Pokemon thing. I was going to go into Game of Thrones with Viserion.
Mm-hmm.
Drogon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She had a Viserion?
Oh.
Okay, where's this going? So Jane, remember her?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, that's so interesting because I remember her so distinctly. I was following her through the entire thing.
I was like...
because from the beginning, when she was, like, gambling, like, she was...
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
The, like, whole gambling story where she, like, won on the, what was it, the craps table or something? And, yeah, I was like, oh, are you the most important character in this play? I don't know. Anyway.
That's fair. I only took notes at this point because Jane is at Monsieur Antoine's, and like we get like this weird description. Like it seems like he's not terribly fond of her.
Yeah.
And we are told by his maid that he is. I'm sorry. He is sitting on a fence watching which way the cat will jump. I was so confused. I was like, is this a euphemism for something? Is he literally watching a cat jump across a fence? What is happening?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I gotta start using that.
Gotta go see which way the cat jumps, if you know what I mean.
Don't know what you mean at all.
How the fuck is that?
Poirot had some like fun mixed metaphors in this one
he
too.
did. He says the fool Tomery, which is
very
very
that
fun.
was my favorite one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's very fun. Yeah. Language is arbitrary.
That bit was only important for cat jumps. Jane is interested in young archaeologist Jean Dupont.
Yes.
Yes,
who flew with her in the same plane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And doesn't Poirot get her a job as like he hires her as his secretary?
Yeah.
And
I had a really confusing sentence there, but my next that's the
next bit. Because don't we follow Jane and then the dentist for a while because they're investigating themselves.
Gail.
Yeah, Gail and Jane are hanging out.
Oh yes, that's what that.
And they follow Clancy around because he's talking to himself, and they're like, "Oh, that's suspicious."
Right.
And he's
the author.
Yeah, and then they follow him to his home, and Poirot is there, and Poirot is like, "Well, okay, we're all interested in this, so how about this?" Jane comes in, pretends to be my secretary, and we just talk to him. And Gail, you go away.
Yeah.
And that's basically what happens.
Yeah.
And Clancy is a mess. He has banana peels and orange juice just on furniture. He cannot find a place for Poirot to sit.
Or for a fruit to go.
He actually
apparently
says that in the beginning of the book. He's like, well, because they're trying to figure out where his blow pipe is. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, I am not the tidiest. I don't remember his accent.
He's the Irishman.
Oh, right, yeah.
He's like, I'm just the tidiest person.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, his place obviously isn't too appealing.
Oh.
Because bananas and oranges have
at
peels.
one point. At one point, he eats a banana in front of Poirot and then throws it into the fireplace, which I think is iconic. It'll take care of itself.
Oh my goodness.
What an incendiary moment.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's in the air. And then it lands. Not like that joke. Anyway, so. After that, they continue this guise of her being his secretary, and through doing the interview with the Duponts, he asks them. He asks them to go to the place where they're doing archaeology, but bring Jane and pay her. Employ her. That's the word.
Yeah. They're like, hey, Poirot's like, hey, why don't you bring Jane along for your dig.
Wow, that took a turn.
You ever,
I wasn't ready for it.
Hey, Melissa, you ever been on a dig?
Well,
Here at Amateur Detective Club
Oh,
After
God.
Hours.
I can't even do the bit.
Is that a banana in the fireplace?
We take a month off. It becomes bad.
We forgot how to podcast.
Oh, let me tell you. Okay, so they go from there and they go to the archaeologist and everything seems fine. And then there's like a couple of chapters where a diddly squat happens and Jane and Gale are like, hanging out. They fall in love inexplicably.
Like you do.
Like you do.
I guess he's handsome or something.
He's handsome. He has a secure job. Oh, his dentistry is not doing well because everyone is scared of him, that he's going to kill them because he was involved in a murder. Jane, however, works as a hairdresser, and everyone comes to see the girl that may have murdered someone. So
Yeah.
they're at, like, opposite ends.
Well, to be completely fair,
Yeah.
a murdering dentist sounds terrifying.
We've all seen Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or like a dentist that was involved in a murder seems suspicious, I should say.
Yes.
Whereas a hairdresser that was involved in a murder, she's going to tell you all these stories.
Absolutely.
That is what those jobs do.
Absolutely. And
Because dentists are sadists. That is what I've learned from Little Shop of Horrors.
That is true. I did imagine Steve Martin as Gale, which was very fun for me.
Oh, well, that's nice for you.
Yeah.
I did as well.
Yeah.
Good.
So Gail keeps going on about, like, I'm going to move to Canada or I'm going to move to New Zealand. I got to get out of here, start over with my dentistry where nobody knows me. And she's
Yeah.
like, oh, can I please come with? Because I'm so madly in love with you. And it's
Yeah.
like, fine,
And who I
sweetheart.
thought of as Queen Latifah because I recently watched Beauty Shop again.
Oh, amazing. So they all go, and there's all that interpersonal relationship stuff. Get back to the plot, Agatha.
Yes.
Truly. It's not about human emotion at all. And then Poirot was like, hey, guys, guess what? I got it.
Chicken butt.
I got this one. Everyone come to this parlor.
Basically.
Yeah.
And he invites Clancy and Gale and Jane and Jap.
Yes.
And then he does the big reveal.
The denouement.
And I think this is a great time to take a little break.
Let's do it.
Hello, everybody. This is Tristan, the Saucy Sleuth, here to remind you you can support us using Patreon by going to patreon.com/TristanJMiller. And we also have some bonus content up there for you. We're hoping to do more as the year proceeds forward. We're also on the Scavengers Network. You can go to scavengersnetwork.com and check out all the wonderful shows there, such as Spooky Spouses, Historical Hotties, and there's another one. It's on the tip. Of you're gonna state your case. Okay. Whew. Oh, that was nerve-wracking for me. I hope you're enjoying this episode, and I hope you're having a good day. By the way, Tyler and Melissa are going to be in some plays coming up, so if you're in the New York City area, look for their plays on their social media. I'm doing a bunch of stand-up as well. You can follow us on Twitter for updates there. That's it. Talking like Jeff Goldblum. Hope you're having a great time, and we'll see you again real soon. Yeah. And we're back. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that mystery.
Oh.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, it was.
Didn't know I was going to say
wasn't
that.
mad at that.
I also kind of want a Kit Kat now.
I know, they're so good.
They're really good candy.
So, Gail did it.
Yes.
Yes, but why?
And how?
And how? Oh, he, apparently stewards used to wear coats that looked similar to dentists.
Dentist coats?
So he disguised himself as a steward using his dentist coat, and he was, with, his, Giselle's, daughter, right?
Yeah, he figured out that Giselle had a lot of money and that he could inherit it if he married her daughter.
Yes.
So he did that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Who was the maid of
Yeah.
Lady Hawbury was actually Anne Marceau, who was
the estranged daughter.
the estranged daughter.
Who, does also die.
Oh, yeah, he murders her too.
He kills her as well.
The whole plan was that he would marry her, kill Madame Giselle, and then kill his wife, so he would inherit all the money.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand. Because, like, if you have, like, a solid enough marriage...
Why risk it?
You know?
Yeah. Well,
Like, she could have lived.
Clearly they didn't have a solid marriage.
Yeah.
It was built on the pretense of him marrying her so that he could get money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were explaining how he physically does it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was.
Because Poirot was trying to figure out the blow dart thing.
Yeah,
and
and
this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he doesn't even use a blue dart. He just leans over as he's disguised as a steward and just stabs her in the neck real quick, dropping the dart as he goes.
He puts an extra spoon in her cup and stabs her in the neck.
Yep.
And he sets loose the wasp.
Yes, he has a wasp in a box.
Yes.
It's a wasp in a box.
And he sets it loose so that it looked like the wasp stung her and she had a heart attack and died.
Yeah, and then he planned on just scooping up the dart, but he dropped it on the ground.
Yeah.
He was planning on scooping it up, and then Poirot noticed it.
It was messy.
Yes, he was messy. But what really done him in was falling in love with Jane, and so he was like, okay, we got to speed this up.
Yeah.
Because I want to get married to her.
Yeah.
Which is so goofy. If you think about it, it's like you're murdering people. Can't you get your priorities right?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Love and stuff. So he kills Morceau, Anne Morceau, the daughter, and then Poirot finds him out before he can marry Lady Jane.
He also, when Poirot tells him all this, tries to beat the crap out of Poirot. He lunges at him, and Jab is like, no.
What are you even doing? I'm a policeman.
Yeah, I'm right here. It is very interesting.
Yep.
Yeah,
so it turns out...
doesn't something, stupid happens where,
Probably.
he gives himself away? Because Poirot is like...
Oh,
we found, your fingerprints. And he was like, I used a glove.
Yeah.
It's just like,
oh, yeah,
you
that's right.
dummy.
Yeah, during the denouement.
Which is very funny.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah.
Ugh.
What a silly Billy.
Yeah. So basically that's the book.
Yeah, what do we think of the book?
I'd give it 6 and a handlebar. 6 and a handlebar.
6 and a handlebar. Okay.
Why?
You banished me. It was so funny. You're like, stop it. Stop it with the clapping.
If you want to get rid of the clapping, say I.
Aye. I've had it for years, but bum.
So I gave it. I gave it 6 and a handlebar because I did like the reveal at the end.
Yeah.
And I did like the developing relationship of Poirot and this French detective.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
Yeah, that was nice.
And I like that bit, that chapter or two about Giselle's maid. We just learned, with such wonderful and rich character development in just those two.
Yeah, that was really good.
Chapters. But there was a lot that I just did not need to read.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So much. In mystery, I get it. There are supposed to be, some red herrings. There are supposed to be, divergent paths, But this had far too much that had too little to do with
the Hauberry business, for instance.
Yeah.
And at one point, we just stopped following Poirot with Jane and Gale, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, and almost always when we stop following Poirot, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We want to know about the detective. That's the perspective that we like.
Perspective detective.
Yeah. So I'm going to give it 5.5. And I think I would like it more if I had read the book rather than listen to it on Audible. I think that this is becoming a big problem for me, actually. Because it's just so easy to lose focus when you're on the train and you have to walk down the subway stairs. But yeah, and it wasn't easy to come back in, which is part of the problem. And yeah, I was not into all of the nationalism basically. I guess that was going on.
Yeah.
Xenophobia. And, yeah, it was just really rampant. But there was a lot about it. Like, the actual mystery itself was cool. But, yeah, there was just so much unnecessary stuff. I hope that it's an episode of
It
the
is.
Sushi. Yeah, great. It's probably very good.
Yeah, that was my assumption as well. When you have to, in order to trim the fat of this story, it would become a very good mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give it a 6. It's fine. I like a lot of everything to do with Poirot was very good. He was at peak form with all his like malapropisms and so forth.
Yeah.
And I liked the idea that he was fixated on the wasp. I liked that a lot.
And that was a cool thing too.
Yeah. And
Again, the bug.
Yeah. Did you know that they're studying Protestants? But yeah, it was very, like, all that was very good, but it just wander a lot. And it also, like, at one point, like, to your point with the red herrings, like, when they go talk to Clancy, every time Agatha puts herself in a book in the form of a murder mystery writer, it's very funny, very telling.
Oh, yeah.
Because Clancy clearly is her, and at one point, he's like, yeah, there should be a lot of red herrings at a certain point, but it's you do have to keep it on track. I'm like, okay, so you are aware of your own problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty fun. I liked also that Jap and Poirot get along in this one, that they weren't fighting. That was very nice.
They do, but I actually got a little bit more of the snark because I wasn't getting it when we were reading books for a bit, or like short stories or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then when we first watched the TV show, I was like, why is Jap so grumpy about Poirot? And I got actually a little bit of the grump, but it was kind of just like oh yeah, this guy kind of grump instead of like, oh, I hate him.
Yes.
Ma.
So, is there anything else?
No.
Okay, then I call this meeting of the Amateur Detective Club to order. It is now done. This is the sound of a gavel. Clankety clank.